Hello everyone! Last week I was lucky enough to drive the new Mercedes CLA EQ, the new electric version of the CLA, for a few hours, and I'm owning a Volkswagen ID.7 for the last 2.5 years. I think they're very similar cars, they have the same target demographic, I think so. Sedan or limousine, whatever you want to call it, good range, good consumption, good charging, a lot of space. And I thought I'd compare them a bit and we see which I like better, because I really enjoyed driving the CLA a lot.
If your company has electric cars as company cars, of course you want your employee to charge at home. It's cheaper for you and it's easier for the employee. Tronity has a software solution for you to know how much you have to pay your employee for charging at home. With the Fleet Manager you manage your employees and your cars. Tronity connects to the cars and knows exactly when the car is charging at home and how much. And then you get an easy monthly bill for your employee. If you want to know more, there's a link in the description below.
Let's start with the look. Of course this is a taste thing, but this is my video, so it's my taste. I think I like the CLA. The ID.7, maybe it's now a few years and I've seen it enough. The design is okay, but not amazing. The CLA has a bit of, I don't know, I like the curves. It looks good. Let's get to the space. Front seats, both of the cars are the same. Rear seats, the ID.7 is better. Not space-wise for the knees, but headroom is better in the ID.7. Trunk space also, ID.7 has more trunk space and you can get into it easier. The CLA, it's very low but very deep, so to put something there is like this, where the ID.7, the trunk is just bigger and it opens up easier and you can get into there easier. So trunk of course is better in the ID.7, but the ID.7 doesn't have a frunk, where the Mercedes CLA has an amazing frunk, even a very big one. So this is a real plus. Also, when it comes to the tires, the CLA comes on very small tires, which is very interesting and nice when it comes to consumption. I think it starts with 17-inch tires. The car I had had 18-inch winter tires on, and it didn't look small, it didn't look weird, where the ID.7 you can get with a minimum of 19-inch and I think 20-inch. I don't think 21-inch. No, 21-inch are for the ID.4, not for the ID.7. You can get sport tires for the ID.7, but I don't recommend these. So tires goes to the Mercedes. The interior, of course, this is again a taste thing. Everyone likes something different. I find them very similar. I like that I have buttons for the light. I don't have to go into infotainment system to turn the lights on, and the fog light. I have mirror control, I have high beam assist, steering wheel has all the buttons that I need. They both have the same thing with the window control, that you only have the front windows, and if you want to do the rear windows you have to press the button. When it comes to where to put stuff and charging is also very similar. I prefer the ID.7 a bit more with the closing up and everything in the middle. I like that a lot. And also I found the armrests in the door and in the middle a bit more, they fit me a bit better than what the CLA had, but it's not horrible at all. By the way, if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery, where I'm vlogging. So if I get a car, what's happening with the car, if there are any news and anything happening, really awesome. Let's get to the screen and the software. So, the ID.7 has a bit of a bigger screen. I think in the CLA it's a bit minimalistic. You have your map and then your phone and your music, and that's it. And then underneath you can change the temperature of your climate, but there's a climate button, and you have to press the seat button to get to the seat heaters and massage function and steering wheel heater and stuff like this. And then underneath the screen you have your home button, and then you have your settings buttons, where you have a few settings for the assist system, where you can turn off stuff very fast and easy, which is nice. And then there you see the last used apps that you have used, but you still have to click around a bit, which is not the best. In the ID.7 you can change your layout, you can have more pages, and you can have everything in there what the car can give you. I have the map in there, I have the music in there, my phone, and then the battery on a different page. I have my consumption and everything, and I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that you can put in there, assist system and so on. When it comes to the assist system, again, you have to press an extra button, but you can configure this the way that you want. Maybe in the CLA you can configure way more than I could experience, because I only had it for a short time, so I'm not putting this against the car. But for example, the seat heater, there's just a button where I press for seat heating or seat ventilation. It's just there. I don't have to click something to get in there. The same with the massage. If I just want to start the massage, there's a button on the seat. Yes, if I want to change stuff, a different massage, I have to go into the massage setting. But if I like the massage that are standard, I just press it and it's on for 30 minutes. I don't have to go into a menu. Where the CLA is just way better, of course, is the cockpit. In the ID.7, the cockpit is tiny. It's the speed and tiny little things, and that's it. Most of it is in the head-up display, where you have your average consumption for your start trip, and you have your navigation, of course, your range, your state of charge, and that's it. And you have augmented reality. The car that I drove of the CLA didn't have head-up display, but you can have it, and I'm sure it's great. Haven't seen it, the cockpit, but shows a lot of stuff. There's not a lot you can change. You have in the middle a few different trips, the same as in the ID.7, but you see it in the cockpit, not in the main screen. And then you have other consumption things, and then you can switch, so you have the map, which you cannot have in the ID.7 in your cockpit, and then also your assist system, so you see other cars and stuff like this, like Tesla, which for me is not necessary. I don't care about this, I don't need it. Let's get to driving. So I drove my ID.7 for 30,000 kilometers. I drove the CLA for 300 kilometers or so. Of course, I cannot be totally certain how the car is, but I found a few things that are very interesting. The suspension in the CLA is amazing, incredible. It's better than in the ID.7. The loudness level on the highway when you drive a bit faster is also amazing and better than the ID.7. Really nice. The seats comfortableness is better in the ID.7. The seats in the premium seats in the ID.7 are just awesome. I love them, and the seat ventilation and everything. The massage is better. I like sitting in there, and I sit more comfortable in the ID.7 than I sat in the CLA. Steering is something, in the ID.7 I can adjust the steering in 3 levels, Eco, Normal and Sport, just how light it is. In the CLA I have Normal and Sport, and it's just a tiny bit different, and it's still very, very direct, and especially very, very light. The ID.7 is already light, but the CLA is amazingly light. And I'm okay if I drive slow and it's very light, but it's also very light when you drive faster. So you have to be a bit more careful and a bit more, you have to know what you're doing. I'm not the biggest fan of the steering of the CLA, I have to say. Power, the ID.7 has 210 kilowatt. This had 200 kilowatt, but it accelerates faster. Not amazingly faster, just a bit. And when you especially accelerate to the top speed, which is higher, it feels better in the CLA. So the CLA has a top speed of 210 kilometers an hour. ID.7 is stopped at 180. But then we get to the stability at this top speed. And here the ID.7 at 180 is like driving a Rolls Royce. It just drives. Unless the road is totally crazy or wind or something. But if it's normal on the highway, you can drive with one hand. It's very comfortable, no problem. Can have the steering assist and the cruise control on, and it's no problem. In the CLA, above 180, because of the steering, and overall, I drove it a few times. It wasn't that amazing. It was not extremely horrible like Tesla Model 3 and Y, but not great. So I wasn't a fan of that. Charging is of course better in the CLA. It has an 800 volt battery system, 85 kilowatt hours can be used. In the Pro S of the ID.7, not mine, I have 77 kilowatt hours. The big battery version of the ID.7 has 86 kilowatt hours. And it charges with a peak of 205 kilowatt, takes 26 minutes, 10 to 80%. The CLA with the 800 volt system and charging with 320 kilowatt peak takes 22 minutes. So that's 4 minutes faster. It's not as big of a difference as I thought with an 800 volt system. So when you look at Hyundai or Kia that do that in 18 minutes, that's just a bit better. It's another 4 minutes, but so CLA does it in 22 minutes. Consumption and range. I haven't driven the CLA too long, so I could say if it's really a better consumption at around highway speeds 130 than the ID.7. I think they're very similar when it comes to long distance driving. I think because of the better charging of the CLA, especially if you only need 50%, where it then goes up to 320 kilowatt and then slowly down. I'm guessing that's better than in the ID.7. So long distance driving in the CLA is better. Something I noticed, both cars have battery heating automatically when you navigate to a charger. The ID.7 can manually preheat the battery as well with a button. You can do it whenever you want. In the CLA you cannot. I don't know if you can do it in the app. I haven't tested the app. I have no idea, but what's really cool is that you can see the temperature of the battery in the CLA, and you can see with how much power you're charging, the same as in the ID.7 where you can also see that. So it's very hard to decide which car is better. I gave the cars points for each little thing that I just said, and there the CLA would be way better. But for me the steering is so negative and the handling at higher speeds, again, very possible you don't care about this at all. For me that's important, especially the steering, but I also like the suspension. So right now I tend more to the ID.7. If I would drive the CLA a bit more, hey Mercedes, give me a press car, let me test the car for 2 weeks, not just for a few hours. Come on Mercedes, you can do that. You don't have to be ashamed of your car. I'm sure it's a great car. And if I get used to that steering and how it handles at higher speeds, I maybe change my opinion and the CLA is better. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BetterYourLife1, but that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.